Hey, welcome to the video. Okay, so this video is about fixing H5P. So if you use H5P, and this is in WordPress, but I have other versions of this same kind of functionality for Moodle and even for Joomla. But here it is, H5P. It allows you to upload and create, share, and use rich interactive content on your WordPress site. So you can go to their website, h5p.org, and look at it and see their examples. But hopefully you know what H5P is, and this really is intended for people who use H5P. So the issue and the problem with H5P, whether you use it in WordPress, or whether you use it in Moodle, or whether you use it in Joomla, which is kind of like an unofficial kind of update or extension, is that it shows all the answers in the browser. Now, a savvy user can explore the browser via his console explorer and inspect and see all of the correct answers and even all of the incorrect answers. So that means H5P as is cannot be used for any kind of really officially sanctioned test exams. This primarily can be used solely for practice, which is good, but I fixed that. So let's take a look at the problem here. So I have H5P on a LearnDash lesson, which is here. And I'm going to go ahead and launch my viewer, which will then examine the JSON file that's downloaded from the H5P plugin into the actual client or into the browser. So I'll go back here and I'm going to go ahead and enable my plugin. So I have a H5P Fix suite, and this one is the problem. The H5P answers are exposed in WordPress, so I'm going to go ahead and activate that. Plugin activated, and once I do and go back to the lesson, and I'll just do a hard reset, which is Command-Shift-R on a Mac, because that'll do a hard reset and make sure I don't have stale JavaScript. Now, just magically, I get this little button here that appears via my plugin, and right now it shows me something there. But if I click on this, it'll show me all of the H5Ps on the page, and I have 1, 2, 3 of them. Now, this first one does not have any xAPi coverage. So in everybody else's solution, that means you can't really use it for much. That means it has no way of tracking anything because it's not active, it's dormant via regular H5P, but I fixed all that. I have something called a Mutation Observer, but so my solution is better than everyone else's. And so if I go to the next one here on the page, that's the multiple choice, and I see there's one question, and it actually shows me the question and the answers. And then if I go to the third one, which is this third tab, so it generates a tab for each one. You see this one has 7 of them that are exposed in the browser. And if I want, I can see the raw JSON, which is the JavaScript object notation. This one, you can see all the good stuff that gets downloaded and gets rendered and consumed by the client. In this case, it's a browser. But the idea is like the dialogue. That does not have any, oh, that has some, but there's no answers in it, so it's not really that important. And also up here, we're looking at the active LMS. So this version of this viewer works with LearnDash. Now I have 5 other versions, I think, that work with the other learning management systems. So let's go ahead and fix this. So I definitely don't want people seeing the answers. Now the people could be, it's all role, it's done by role, so you can set that in the settings, but you don't want your people to cheat. And this is in the browser, so if they want to cheat, they can. So we want to avoid that. So let's go back here and fix it. So if I go back down here to my suite, and I'm going to go ahead and that's the problem. Here's the fix. So here's the fix. It's called H5P Fix Suite, the fix. So I secure all of this on the browser. So all the H5P answers are on the, I fixed this on the server. So all of the answers are no longer downloaded. And by the fact they're no longer downloaded via a JSON file, there's no chance of cheating on the exam. So now it can be used for legitimate, certified courses. So let's go ahead and see that here. So I'm going to go ahead and activate this. It's activated, and I'll go back to here and do a hard reset. And now if we launch our little button here, we see it's protected. There's no answers in the browser. So if I go, well, there's no answers here, but look at the raw JSON. It's just empty curly braces or brackets. And if I go to the other one, you know, they're empty. There's nothing in the browser that someone can use to cheat. So I've secured it. And that's what this suite does. And I have another addition, which is the, here's a proof that I can actually use this with the third part of the suite, which is using a gate. So in other words, I can use an H5P and not permit someone to progress in LearnDash until they finish the H5P interaction, either by finishing it, which is called completion, or by passing it, which is configurable in the settings. But I'll show that later. But the idea is that now we have a way of protecting H5P, so the answers are no longer exposed in the browser or in the client, regardless of if you're using WordPress or Moodle or Joomla. And also mine is better because I don't have any whitelist. So what is a whitelist? Well, let's take a look at that. If I grab an H5P interaction such as the dialog cards, and I check for, which is this one, and if I check for xAPi coverage, there's no xAPi coverage, so it cannot send anything such as a verb like completed or passed or any of that stuff to anywhere else. And that anywhere else typically is an LRS. But again, it doesn't have to be. But so it's basically dead in the water. It doesn't do anything. But you know, I fixed all that. So if we go back, we see that we do have one of these here, and I have my third or fourth plugin, which is the Mutation Observer. That's this one. It's activated already. And I got some debugging stuff up here. But when I do this, instead of being dead in the water and not doing anything, by me wiring up a mutation observer, that basically looks for mutations in the markup or in the page structure. And this will actually change. That's called a mutation. So when I do this,
card flipped, card back, card flipped, card front.
I've just wired up a little button and a voice to be triggered when this happens, when this mutates, and so I can use it for all kinds of stuff. Now, this is just a real primitive example, but now I've awakened up all the non-xAPi interactions that have no xAPi coverage, and you can use those now by using my by using my plugin here, which is in Mutation Observer. And so for fun, if I Google on H5P whitelist for LearnDash, that's going to come up with all the ones that it works with, and the ones that doesn't work with, and the ones that they don't work with typically are ones that have no xAPI. So I'll search through these. Well, here's one, e-learning complete. So if I click on that one, actually I was the founder of e-learning complete, as probably most of you know, and wrote the first one that didn't have a big external LRS. It had a small little internal one, but now I don't use any. And yes, they've improved it quite a bit as well, but you see some of these have no xAPI coverage, but all of mine do because I use a Mutation Observer. So, you know, if you're interested in perhaps beta testing this suite, or knowing or finding out more about it, or have questions, or perhaps want to use it, send me an email, and my email is pfkellogg, pfkellogg @gmail.com, and I'll get back to you. So yeah, I'm looking for a few beta testers. So feel free to get a hold of me, and I'm putting my contact information kind of at the end of this video because I don't want to get too many people contacting me unless they're, unless they have a history of using H5P and want to progress and secure their H5P and go above and beyond what you can find out there in the world today. So anyway, contact me if you want, and thanks for watching this video.